community. I'm Lexi Rios. I'm the marketing manager for the Latinx Education Collaborative. Today I'm here with Margarita Gonzalez. She's been nominated for the Future Latinx Educator of the Year. Hi, Margarita. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Can you introduce yourself to our folks out here?
Yes. So like she said, my name is Margarita Gonzalez. I am 21 years old and I was born and raised here in Wyandotte County. I love living here. I've always lived here. I will probably live here for the rest of my life. So my story and the way that I began this teaching journey is when I was right into college. My mom is also an educator and so is my aunt, so I kind of take after them. So as soon as I went into college, it was um didn't know what I wanted to do yet, hadn't decided, but I kind of just rolled into that elementary education, um into those courses either way, just because I was like, well, I'm here, I might as well be doing something. And I went to KCKCC. That's where I got my associate's degree. And I didn't fall in love with teaching until I actually went into the classroom. So I was in banking first, and that's where kind of started to like banking. And I was like, okay, well, I think this can be a long-term deal until I lost my job, and then I started working as a substitute teacher for a school that my mom worked at. And once I started working there and I was already taking the courses, that's when I really started to love teaching and um, just working for my community. And that kind of just grew my love and for my passion for it. And so, yeah, I think that's about it.
Nice. That's
Hmm.
awesome. I love it. You have some educator roots with
Yeah.
you.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And so I always grew up watching my mom in the classroom. I mean, every
Mm,
summer, if we were always in her classroom every single summer, taking it down, putting it up. And so um I didn't really like when she was a teacher, just because I went to the school that she was teaching at, and so it was kind of weird being the teacher's daughter. And so I just never imagined myself wanting to become an educator. And like I had said before, I mean, it wasn't until that I started teaching that I or started substitute teaching that I really was like, okay, I like this. Like I like having my own classroom, or I like working really closely with the kids. And um another thing that really influenced me, or began this journey too, was just seeing how many minorities like actually work in the in the schools. So to me, I never, when I was younger, going to school and growing up, I never really um got that representation of myself in the classroom. um and I think that's what really like kind of pushed me over the edge, like, oh yeah, like this is what I want to do, this is where I want to be, this is where I know I'll make a difference, a big difference. And so I just knew that um just kind of being that representation within the classroom, and just showing minority students or students of color, or Latino students that, if I can do it, they can do it too. And I just think that the education system just needs more people who look like me and you. And so, yeah.
mm. Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
I love that. So right now you're substituting in your
Mhm.
school. Um,
Mhm.
someone nominated you for because they already see that you're
Yeah.
gonna be an amazing teacher,
Mhm.
right? How do you feel about your nomination?
Honestly, at first I didn't know what to think about it. I was just kind of nervous because I was like, "Oh, like what does this mean for me? Like where is this going to put me?" And so when I had read a little bit more about it and looked into your guys's the nomination and all that, I was just a little bit thrown off, but I see all, like, I was on your guys' web pages and all that, and I was just seeing that all the good work that you do for you and your teachers. I mean, for the teachers, and I was just like, oh, I know when I'm at a school or even now, I'm gonna 100% need support like that. And I just wanted to take this step to just kind of help me, because I mean, like I said earlier, or I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but I mean, I want to help my community. And so I just feel like this nomination is just going to be that next step to help me further my career, or even put my name out there into the community. And just know that, I mean, I'm here and I want to work for the people who mean the most to me.
Absolutely. Oh, I love
Hmm.
that. I love that. You heard it here. Margarita is out here. I want
Yeah.
to I want to read
Yeah.
you a snippet from your nomination,
Okay.
of what
Oh
somebody
yes.
said. This is why they're nominating you.
Hmm.
It said Margarita is willing to help out when needed and where she's getting great experience being a sub, and the way that she expresses herself when speaking about her students shows that she cares deeply for them. I know that she will be an incredible educator.
That's gonna make me cry. Yeah, no, because I mean, that just means a lot. Just because I really do care so deeply about my students, even though I only see them. And like I said again, I'm just a substitute teacher, so it's not like I'm in the classroom 24/7 with these students. But getting to know them over the course of, I mean, of the time that I've been able to get to know them, I just love every single one of them, and I just getting to know them on like a deeper connection, I think, just really influences me even more to want to pursue this career. And it just makes me feel like I'm in the right place and I'm doing the right thing by being a teacher.
Yeah, and other
Hmm.
people can see that too, right? Like,
Hmm. Right.
they're already noticing that, like, this is where you're meant to be, this is
Yeah,
your
for
thing.
sure.
Yeah,
Hmm.
so exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting.
So my next question for you, I feel like you already touched on it a little bit, but why does representation matter?
To me, representation means everything to me. I mean, I remember being younger and just feeling like I just couldn't relate to any of my teachers, and I felt like I couldn't really talk to them, and I really struggled with that. And I that's also another reason why I wanted to become an educator, was just for the reason that growing up I didn't have a teacher to me. And being in school, I'm always getting asked this question, oh, who was your favorite teacher, or all this and that. And I never have an answer for that, just because I felt like I never had that deep connection with the teacher. And so I felt like a lot of it had to do was because I just couldn't relate to them. I mean, the representation wasn't there. And like, there was never any culture brought into the classroom as well. And so I just think if students see like me, I'm always saying, like, if students see that I can do it, or if they just see like some sort of representation of themselves inside of the classroom, then that's just going to push them more to want to succeed and to be the best student that they can be. And so representation, I think, is just what really is going to help them. It's going to help them and show them, oh, well, I can do it. Oh, well, I can succeed, and I can be the best student that I can be. And so yeah, I just think representation is very important, and it just shows students that they can do what they want, that they can reach for the stars and be successful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hmm.
That's a whole thing, right? Like, being
Hmm.
able to just be there, and, like,
Yeah.
because of who you are and what you bring, like,
Hmm.
you automatically have those connections with your students,
Right.
and I'm sure that means a
Right.
lot to them, even if they don't know it now, like,
Right.
of you being asked later, right, while you're in college, your favorite
Hmm.
teacher, and, like, trying to go back and make those connections, like, I'm sure for them, like, those things are, like, settling in now with them,
Mhm.
little,
Oh,
right?
for sure. Yeah.
In a clique, right? That like
Right.
they felt that
Mhm.
just because you were there. So,
Right. Yeah, and so, I just wanna take that step to just let my students know that they are loved and that they are cared for. I mean, no matter what you look like, no matter who you are,
mm,
you're always gonna have a safe place. And that's I mean, that too is I, want my classroom to feel like a safe place just because I felt like I never had that,
mm,
and I feel like I never had, an educator who really, um, stuck their neck out for me, and so I wanna be that educator for my students. I wanna be that person that is gonna do whatever I can to make sure my students are successful, and I feel a big part of that is representation. I mean, if students don't see themselves in the classroom or don't see themselves, then they're just not gonna learn. They're not gonna learn, and it's just gonna make it very difficult for them to learn. And so I just feel also bringing representation into the classroom is just gonna make my students better learners as well, and maybe even make them want to be teachers too.
mm,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Full circle.
Yeah, no, seriously, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what we need. I mean, that's what I like to say a lot too, is that we need teachers who look like me and you, and teachers who look just like not your normal average teacher.
Mm,
And yeah.
yeah, of
Mhm.
course. Yes, I love that. So kind of leading into this next question, I feel like you're alluding here, so good little segue.
Yeah.
Um,
Thanks.
how can we build the right conditions for Latinx students to advance?
Um, I feel like just making connections with those students, um, kind of providing other opportunities for them. So I know a lot of the times in the classroom, a lot of the students don't get the support that they need at home just because they feel like they can't because their parent won't understand or this or that. And so I just want to make connections with my students and my students families and just tell them that your child is only going to be successful if we're all successful, if we all I mean, it's a team effort. And so I just feel like making connections first would be a huge step into the advancement of the Latinx youth community. I mean, just because I feel like that's another thing too is that I always saw is that a lot of parents, a lot of children were having to advocate for their parents and having to translate for their parents, and that's another reason why why I want to be a teacher as well, is because your child shouldn't have to do that for you. You should have somebody, you should be the advocate for your child. And so I just feel if I take that first step into making those connections with the parents, then the the child's learning and all that would just be much easier for them, and they won't have to worry about translating or any of that because I will be there to do that.
Mhm.
And so
Yeah.
mhm.
Oh, I love that, and that's so true, that's very real. That's like
Mhm.
that is one of those things, right, that
Yeah,
because
from experience.
from
Yeah,
experience, a culture
yeah.
piece, right, that, like, that's
Mhm.
something that's very true for so many Latinx
Mhm.
students, and
Right.
so for you to be able to, right, like, again, like, just be you and be in there and know that that's, like, a
Mhm.
can kinda, like,
Right.
break in the moment, like, that's very
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so, yeah, like I said, I just feel like for my students to be able to be successful, it's very important to know or to see the parents and just let them know, like, hey, like, this is what your student needs to be a great learner or a great student. And instead of the child advocating for themselves, I mean, who better to do it than myself or the parent? And so,
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
Mhm.
Have that.
Thank
Um,
you.
well, Our last question here. What keeps you going?
Um, I think what keeps me going is my aunt, honestly, my aunt and my mom.
Mhm.
Um, just seeing the changes that they make, and the differences, and even if it's just little things, just seeing those changes and just it just means everything to me. And so, I just want to know that one day that I'll be able to impact my students the way that they do. And also the fact that I just want to be a good role model for my siblings too. I have a younger brother and two older sisters, and out of the four, I was the first to receive my. Out of the four of us, I was the first to receive my associate's degree.
Mm,
So, I mean, that was like a big step for us. It was just for all of us. And if I always tell them, if I succeed, you guys are gonna succeed. If I do it, you're gonna do it. We're all gonna do it together, and that's what's
mhm,
gonna happen. And so, even if it's not the same route that I'm taking, I just want to make sure that they're good. And so I feel like my siblings really keep me going. I mean, just being a role model for them and just showing them, like, hey, if I can do it, you can do it. Because I mean, we have my mom to look up to, but my mom went on to get her degree later in life. And so, we kind of got to see firsthand, like, the struggle is real when you have four kids and going to school full time. And so just seeing her, that's why I say she keeps me going too. So just seeing her do that as well is just, I mean, it's amazing. I look up to her, and my aunt as well. She's a single mom, of three kids, and she went on to get her master's and is now actually working on getting her doctorates.
yeah.
So, right. And so those two women are just like superwomen in my eyes. Like they're
Great.
amazing. They're heroes, and I want to be like them. And
Mm,
so, really, my family, I would say, is who keeps me going. My family. I
mm,
just want to be successful for them, really. So,
mm.
mhm,
I love that.
yeah.
Well, Margarita, anything else you would like to tell our audience?
Mm, just be a teacher. Finish, do it. It's so rewarding. It's one of the most rewarding careers you can go into. Obviously, um, the pay is not all the best, but it's it once you see the light in those children's eyes when you walk into the classroom, or when they're walking in first in the morning, it's the best feeling ever. And just knowing that you're making a difference in their lives, and just playing a small part as well, because I mean, they're only going to have one fourth grade teacher, they're only going to have one fifth grade teacher, and they're going to remember you forever. And so if
Mhm.
you're a great educator and you show that you really want to do it, you'll make a huge of a difference in their lives. And yeah. So
Mm, yes, awesome. Well,
mhm,
LBC community, you heard it here. Margarita, she's out here. She's
mhm,
a teacher. She wants everyone else to be a teacher.
yep.
It was so nice talking to you, Margarita. Best of luck to you with your nomination. We're
Thank
happy to
you.
have you here and highlight you. You're doing great
Thank
work.
you. Thank you.
Our
And I'm
students,
happy to be here, and to be nominated too is amazing. So thank you
yes,
so much.
of course. Thank you. Well, until next time, bye everybody.
Bye.
It was like us into the blade. We're sitting there like in the arena in Las Vegas. Like, when I started this LEC community,